we shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places. But because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
Angel Reese strutted into the spotlight as if she were stepping onto a stage built just for her, only to find the lights had dimmed, the audience had left early, and the stagehands were already packing up. The real twist? She actually thought she could replicate Caitlin Clark's magic, not through skill or authentic appeal, but by hovering close enough to bask in the reflection, as if standing next to greatness were the same as earning it. Comment down below. Baby goat over baby giraffe. If you're riding with Cece, let's go.
Angel, me bound, prayer, Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious Cece. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious Cece don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that on. Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's big coming-out party, her moment to shine, to finally step out of Caitlin Clark's shadow. Or at least that's what she told herself. She was ready to drop her Reebok signature shoe, launch her I'm Your City marketing campaign, and turn Indianapolis, Clark's home turf, into her personal playground. On paper, it looked like the perfect plan. But reality had other ideas, serving up a harsh lesson. You can't fake charisma, and you definitely can't build your brand by orbiting someone else's.
Everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get the Angel Reese signature shoe. Here it gives you the power of the me-bound. Bang! Again! Burn! Will she save it? No! What everyone's paid to see, the Angel Reese rebound! Bang! Kelsey Plum makes the shot, she'll get more money. Bang! We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes! Bang! I love rebounds. Yes!
Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick.
Yes, she did it again. Rebound!
So, let's address the sneaker in the room. Angel Reese's new Reebok release, the Angel Reese 1. It dropped in 2 colorways, Diamond Dust and Me Bounds, and was hyped as the future of women's basketball footwear. Reebok went all in, flooding the All-Star festivities with ads and timing the Me Bounds launch for maximum exposure. Unfortunately for them, exposure doesn't always translate to excitement, especially when your timing backfires spectacularly.
Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it.
The heart of Reese's strategy rested on one crucial and very flawed assumption: that Caitlin Clark's All-Star appearance would guarantee massive attention, which would then translate into big sales. She didn't try to captivate fans on her own merit. Instead, she bet everything on the idea that merely sharing the court, just existing in Clark's orbit, would elevate her. It wasn't about outshining Clark or even competing. It was about riding the coattails of someone who already commands the room.
It's one of those things where it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
But fate had other plans. Clark suffered a groin injury just before the All-Star break and was sidelined, forced to watch from the bench in street clothes. With her absence, the WNBA lost the one thing it couldn't afford to lose: its top draw. Caitlin Clark is the kind of player who can turn a midweek game in the middle of nowhere into a national event. Without her on the floor, the excitement evaporated.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
And the numbers were brutal. When Clark played in the 2024 All-Star Game, it shattered records with 3.44 million viewers. It wasn't just a game. It was a cultural moment. Fast forward to 2025, with Clark sidelined and ratings nosedived to 2.19 million, a staggering 36% drop in viewership. And it all happened in Indianapolis, Clark's own backyard. An event tailor-made to capitalize on her presence completely unraveled the moment she couldn't play.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stars. Remember, guys.
Reese had to watch her entire campaign unravel before her eyes. Nearly half their value was gone. Not even scalpers could salvage it. Fans weren't lining up to see an all-star event without the only star they truly cared about.
The WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
Nothing summed up the misstep quite like Reese's tone-deaf "I'm in your city" campaign. The premise was bold, borderline arrogant. She rolled it out across Indianapolis as if declaring territorial conquest in someone else's kingdom. But here's the catch. Clark wasn't even suiting up. She couldn't defend her city because she was injured. That didn't make Reese look bold. It made her look like someone trying to hijack a crown while the real queen was temporarily off the throne.
Angel Reese All-Star Weekend Edition! How about it? Let's get it! Hey, you know what they say? 4 is more. Bang! Her loyal fans showed out in Indy, all 4 of them, and somebody's drunk uncle. Take a look at what unemployment looks like. Bang! What do you mean you didn't watch the All-Star Game? You're telling me you have a social life? What? What's butter pecan mean? It's provocative. It gets people going. Butter pecan! Bang!
The campaign was everywhere: billboards, digital ads, slick videos, and flashy captions screaming dominance. Reese even posted Instagram reels with a caption, "I'm in your city," and used phrases like, "walk in your trap, take over your trap." It was a full-on takeover attempt, just without any real resistance to overcome.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as me-bounds, rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the day.
Fans weren't fooled, not even a little. Social media lit up with criticism. One person tweeted, "She can't even sell her shoe without piggybacking off Caitlin Clark." Another joked, "More photographers than fans at this launch, LOL." The whole thing came off like someone celebrating a forfeit, as if it were a fair fight. Trying to claim victory over someone who wasn't even competing doesn't make you a winner. It just makes you look desperate.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
Let's take a step back and really lay this out. Angel Reese had everything set up for success during All-Star Weekend. She was in Indianapolis, supposedly the queen of the moment. Her very own Reebok signature shoe was launching. The city was blanketed with her billboards. Her social media team was firing on all cylinders, and the marketing machine was working overtime. And yet crickets. No buzz, no real excitement.
And sent a blatant message. A shot across thou bow. All right? And your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is it?
The WNBA even tried to spin the aftermath with a slick PR move, comparing the 2025 All-Star viewership to the 2023 figure of 850,000 as a win, while conveniently skipping over the elephant-size number from 2024, when Caitlin Clark was the star of the show. But everyone saw through that smokescreen. What they were really saying was that without Clark, they were back to being niche, back to pre-relevance levels of interest, and if you needed more proof, look at the Friday night events. The three-point contest and the skills challenge pulled in 1.32 million viewers, nearly double the prior year. But let's be honest, those weren't Angel Reese fans tuning in. That was still the Caitlin Clark aftershock. People tuned in hoping to catch a glimpse of the player who changed everything.
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel, me bound pray up Reese. Last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious Cece with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna do that.
The real problem for Angel Reese wasn't bad timing. It was not understanding how star power works. She saw Caitlin Clark's sold-out shoes, Nike deal, and non-stop headlines and thought, I can do that too. Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro sold out in under a minute, with resale prices over $600, and Reese assumed she could match that demand. But Clark's brand isn't built on logos or hype, it's built on loyalty. Fans follow her because they believe in her, not because of marketing. Years of elite play, honesty, and passion earned that trust. When Nike gave her an 8-year, $28 million contract, it was an investment in a once-in-a-generation star. Her 2026 signature shoe is projected to bring in over $100 to $150 million, backed by real data and a deep fan connection. In contrast, Reese's Reebok launch landed flat. The Angel Reese one had plenty of flash, but little excitement. The rollout didn't feel bold. It felt needy.
One of his genius decisions was this. Signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is, if you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here, that is her.
Even Reebok's executives seemed to recognize the issue. In the Netflix docuseries Power Moves, Shaquille O'Neal was caught saying Reese needed to be dressed head to toe in Reebok gear, especially when facing Caitlin Clark. Translation: her brand only shines when Clark is in the picture. Instead of building Reese as a standalone star, Reebok focused on keeping her relevant by linking her to Clark. It exposed how dependent her image had become. By Sunday night, after the All-Star festivities, Reese posted on social media, "This was the most fun I've had in a while because of the players. Shout out to y'all." Back to the regularly scheduled program. The emphasis on players felt like a subtle jab at the Indianapolis fans, who had actually treated her well all weekend. It was an odd note to end on after a weekend that clearly hadn't gone as planned.
And look, I don't know what the Reese was thinking. She wanted her shoe that just came out a couple months ago that cost $1,000. Now look, I'm all for athletes getting their shoe, getting the shoe deal, having their design, specified, perfect shoe that significant to them and to other fans. But $1,000 for a shoe, love, I love you. I really do. But you definitely been on some shit. Like lately. I'm not going to lie to you. You have. But $1,000.
By then, the damage was clear. Reese tried to turn All-Star Weekend into her own commercial, banking on Clark's hype to boost her shoe launch. Instead of fireworks, she got a harsh reality check. Viewership fell, excitement faded, and her "I'm in your city" campaign looked desperate, not bold. IT wasn't just a marketing flop. It exposed how little she understood true influence. Caitlin Clark isn't popular because she's marketed well. She's marketed well because she's popular. When Clark sells out arenas or her shoes vanish in minutes, it's not advertising. It's loyalty built through talent, authenticity, and consistency. Reese's strategy missed that entirely. She tried to manufacture star power with slogans and ad buys in Clark's hometown, but fame doesn't work that way. It's earned over time through greatness and humility. Reese wanted the results without the foundation, and it showed.
She is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game won't be remembered for Angel Reese's shoes or billboards, but for what happens when the league loses its marquee player, even briefly. The 36% ratings drop, ticket price crash, and fan indifference said it all. Clark isn't one of many stars. She's the star. And when she's not playing, the product suffers. Reese learned a hard lesson. Trying to boost your brand off Caitlin Clark's shine isn't just ineffective, it's obvious. Fans know who's genuine and who's forcing it. Right now, authenticity wins. The numbers don't lie. The ratings don't lie. The future of the WNBA clearly rides with Caitlin Clark. Reese may be many things, but she's not Clark, and pretending otherwise only leads to failure. You don't win hearts by trying to replace the player fans truly love or claim a city that was never yours.